So good morning one and all. So in the last class we have started with map rule and ML rule. So map rule means maximum a posteriori probability rule. ML rule means maximum likelihood rule, or likelihood probabilities are also known as transition probabilities. So this is the map rule finally. These are, what are they? They are the a posteriori probabilities. We have to choose the maximum of these probabilities. So we have taken one example. So this is a map rule. So if x0 is received, we compare these two a posteriori probabilities. Whichever is maximum, we choose in favor of that particular symbol or bit. So you can modify that map rule. Now this is a map rule, that is modified version. This is a modified version of the map rule. So this is optimum rule. A receiver which uses the map rule is known as optimum receiver. Optimum in the sense it minimizes the effect of probability of error. Now, so ML rule, obviously the name itself indicates we choose maximum likelihood or transition probabilities. But whenever these are equiprobable, so the map rule is same as ML rule. So that's why ML rule is a special case of map rule. So this is the two parts of the receiver, detector, demodulator, and transmission decoder. So whenever all the symbols are equiprobable, we prefer to go for ML because ML is same as map. So the probability of error is the parameter which defines the quality of the output of the digital communication system. Now to find out the probability of error, so first of all we use the formula of total probability theorem. Okay, so if it is a binary scheme, this is a formula. So what is that? Probability that you get error because of symbol 0. So the total probability of error will be equal to probability that you get error because of symbol 0 into probability of that symbol 0 plus obviously probability that you get error because of bit 1 or symbol 1 into probability of 1. Okay, so in our cases we assume that these two are equiprobable. So obviously it is simply the average probability of error is simply 1 by 2 into P of E given 0 plus P of E given 1. Okay, so now we will discuss about the receiver of the BPSK. So since BPSK contains only one basis function, there is only one correlator. The output is x1. Now x1 is given to the ML rule. So here what is ML rule? Now before that, now x1 is the Gaussian random variable with the mean root EB whenever bit 1 is transmitted, with the mean minus root EB when bit 0 is transmitted. The variance is same n0 by 2 for all bits. Okay, now this is the conditional PDF of x1. Okay, now this is a graph of two conditional PDFs. Okay, now they are intersecting at 0. They are intersecting at 0. Now this is nothing but a threshold. Okay, what happened there? So we get two PDFs, conditional PDFs, something like this. Okay, so suppose so assume that they are intersecting at 0. Okay, now so we say that, let me go back to the original figure. So let us take this figure only. Now whenever x1 is more than 0, what we choose? We choose symbol 1 was transmitted. Whenever x1 is less than 0, we choose symbol 0 is transmitted. That is because of ML rule. Okay. Now, so ML rule says if x1 is greater than 0, m cap equal to 1. MCAP means estimation. If x1 is less than 0, MCAP equal to 0. If x1 equal to 0, you can choose either 0 or 1. Okay, randomly you can guess. So yeah, this is the rule. Now, so when does the error occur? When does the error occur? When does the error occur? Okay, so the obvious question is, we have to find out when error occurs. So there are two possibilities, right? What are they? 0 may be received as 1 or 1 may be received as 0. In binary case, there are only two possibilities. Now, so finally, at the receiver side, what are the possibilities of getting error? Okay, when it can happen? Suppose if otherwise, consider 1 was transmitted and if x1 is less than 0. Okay, now so let us take this case. So what is transmitted? 1. And what is x1? x1 is negative. According to ML rule, if x1 is less than 0, which means if x1 is lies in this side, this is 0. Okay, if x1 is less than 0, what we estimate? MCAP as 0. Why? Because this side the PDF that corresponds to bit 0 is more. Okay, now what we say? We say that MCAP, which implies MCAP equal to 0, which means actually bit 1 was transmitted but we are receiving it as 0. This is one possibility. What another possibility? Reverse. Consider bit 0 transmitted and x1 is positive. If x1 is positive, obviously it lies to the right side of the figure, to the positive side of the figure. So in this way, in this positive side, the PDF corresponds to bit 1 is more. That's why we choose MCAP equal to 1. Okay, we choose MCAP equal to 1. This implies MCAP equal to 1. But what was XL transmitted? 0. So 0 is transmitted but it is received as 1. Here 1 is transmitted but it is received as 0. In these two cases we get error. Okay, so look at the figure. So first of all, okay, so this is the figure which tells you everything about the occurrence of the error. Okay, whenever this PDF crosses 0, this portion is the error. Whenever this PDF crosses this side, it is also error. Now, so those are two possibilities. So what is x1 value if bit 1 was transmitted? If bit 1 was transmitted, what is x1? In this case, what is x1? Root EB plus W1. So in this case, what is x1? Whenever bit 0 is transmitted, minus root EB plus W1. So you check these things. Okay. Yeah. So the first and foremost thing is, first case, case 1. 1 was transmitted but x1 is less than 0. Okay. Now, so but what is x1 when 1 was transmitted? Root EB plus W1. This is less than 0. Okay. Which means W1 is less than minus root EB. Agreed or not? Okay. So x1 is less than 0 is same as implies what is less than 0? w1 is less than minus root EB. Okay. So now, when x1 is less than 0, we get error. Okay. So if you take the probability of that, probability of x1 less than 0 is same as whenever x1 is less than 0, we are getting error. What is that? It is probability that getting error when bit 1 was transmitted. Isn't it? So whenever x1 is less than 0 and when bit 1 is transmitted, this is the one conditional probability of error. Okay. So what is another one? Case 2. 0 is transmitted and x1 is greater than 0. So whenever 0 is transmitted, what is x1? Minus root EB plus W1. Okay. What is that? It is more than 0. Which means W1 is more than root EB. This is the one logic. But so when x1 is less than 0, it leads to an error. What type of error? Probability that x1 less than 0 means probability of getting an error when bit 0 was transmitted. Okay. So obviously, what is the total probability of error? 1 by 2 into probability of error because of bit 0 plus probability of error because of bit 1. This is the total probability theorem. Now let us calculate one by one. So now, if you go to this diagram here, what is the probability? Area under PDF. That you know already. So here, this area, it is a probability of error. But what probability of error? Probability that error when bit 0 was transmitted. Okay. So this area, it is also indicates the probability of error, because area under PDF is nothing but probability. So but what this indicates? Probability of error but when bit 1 was transmitted. So by symmetry, these are equal. These two areas are equal, which means if you calculate one area, it is exactly equal to another area. So this is one of the important ways of finding the probability of error, by areas. Here we don't go by areas, but you can do with areas also. We'll solve some problems based on the area. Okay. Now we go by the calculations, mathematical calculations. But remember, so here this is the area that indicates probability of E given 0. This is another area that indicates probability that E given 1. If you add them, you get total probability of error. Okay. Why? Because why it is error? So what happens here? Whenever this PDF crosses 0, whenever this PDF which belongs to bit 0, whenever it crosses 0, what happens? It will be treated as bit 1. Similarly, whenever the PDF belongs to bit 1 crosses to the left side of the figure, to the negative side of the figure, it was 1, but it will be coded as 0, because it is entering into the region belongs to bit 0. Okay. Now, so let us getting into the what we calculate first. Here also, if I calculate one probability, it is enough because both are same. Areas are same, probabilities are also same. So we don't calculate two probabilities. We calculate one, that will be same as another one, remaining one. Okay, so let us go with E given 0. That is easy to calculate. So first of all, calculate the probability that E given 0. How much is this? So what is this? What is that? So probability of E given 0 is same as probability that E given 0, second case. X1 is more than 0. Okay, probability that x1 is more than 0. That is again same as probability that, what is x1 more than 0 means? W1 is more than root EB. That is same as W1 is more than root EB. Here what is W1? It is a random variable, Gaussian random variable, with the mean 0, with mean 0 and variance n0 by 2. Do you agree or not? Now, so there is a formula. Okay, what is that? Standard normal random variable. Okay, this is the formula. I have discussed this formula in PTSP also. Very, very important. Here W1 is not normal. Why? For normal, we should have a 0 mean unit variance. So to make it normal, what do we do? Okay. So I am not getting the details. I hope you can do this. So W1 minus mean by sigma greater than root EB minus 0 by sigma. Here what is sigma actually? This is sigma square. What is sigma? Root n0 by 2. So probability that W1 by sigma greater than root EB by sigma. Okay. Now this is nothing but, what is this? Q function. Is it nothing but Q of root EB by sigma. But what is sigma? Root n0 by 2. So this is equal to Q of root 2 EB by n0. This is only probability that E given 0. So what is E given 1? It will be same by symmetry. So this is one conditional probability. What is probability that E given 1? That is also same. Both are same. So what is the total probability now? That is 1 by 2 into this plus this, obviously same. Q of root 2 EB by n0. This is the final probability of error of BPSK. Now we can also convert it into complementary error function ERFC. So we have to go through these formulas to convert from Q to ERFC. Okay, you go through this once. So finally, the probability of error of BPSK is very, very important. Q of root 2 EB by n0. This is a Q function. What is this? The Q function. You can also write in terms of ERFC function. Both are okay. You must write in both forms. Q function as well as ERFC function. So here I did not calculate the second conditional probability of error. Okay, it will be same because of symmetry. If it is not same, how to calculate? Again the formula is same. Okay, it is also comes out to be Q of root 2 EB by n0. So right, that is about BPSK. Yeah, so we can also calculate using the areas. Here I am not dealing with areas right now, but so these are the two areas which gives you the probability of errors. This area and this area. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now we have done with BPSK. Okay. Now, so let us go to the next modulation scheme, that is BFSK, which means B stands for binary, which means m equal to 2. Phase shift keying, sorry, frequency shift keying, which means here we have to change the frequency. In the BPSK, we have changed the phase of the carrier. Here we have to change the frequency of the carrier. Okay. Now, so in binary FSK, two symbols are distinguished from each other by the sinusoidal waves that differ in the frequency by a fixed amount. Okay. So here we have to distinguish the bits by using different frequency waveforms, fixed frequency waveforms. How it is possible? Obviously, we have to generate two waveforms, S1 of t as well as S2 of t. Now they should differ in frequency. They should have different frequencies. So let me take A cos 2 pi f1 t. Here I take one more different frequency, A cos 2 pi f2 t. So these two waveforms have same amplitude, same phase. They are different frequencies. Obviously, remember, they are valid only from 0 less than t less than tb. It is true for all techniques. Now, so they have different frequencies. What is the frequency of first waveform? F1. Second waveform F2. So they are different. So let me take F2 is more than F1. You can take any relation. You can take reverse also. The only thing is they should be different. I am taking F2 is more than F1. Yes. Okay. Now obviously, so what is the energy of first signal? Okay, before that, they should be integer multiple of TB. F1 should be some K1 by TB. F2 should be also some other integer K2 by TB. Both should be some integer multiples of 1 by TB. So K1 and K2 are integers. K1, K2 are positive integers. Okay. Now, so what happens here is, since they are having different frequencies, S1 of t and S2 of t are orthogonal. The inner product or the dot product of these two is 0. Why? Because they have different frequencies. So that's why it is called, since they are orthogonal. I am not saying orthonormal. They are orthogonal because the dot product is 0. So they are called, it is called orthogonal modulation. BFSK is also called as orthogonal modulation because the waveforms themselves are orthogonal to each other. Why? Because the different frequency, not in amplitude, not in phase. Okay. And this K1, K2 are fixed. F1, F2 are fixed frequencies. They are different fixed frequencies. Remember this. And F2 is more than F1. Okay, so what is E1, what is E2? So what is E1? Energy of the first signal. You calculate energy in case of BPSK also. What do you got? A square TB by 2. Here also you get same thing. Second signal energy also same. What is the average bit energy or energy per bit EB? That is also A square TB by 2. These calculations we have done in case of BPSK also. I am not repeating. You just go through them once. How to calculate this energy? Just use the formula, basic formula. Now, so from this, what is A? Root 2 EB by TB. Now, so if you replace A as A with root 2 EB by TB, these are the two waveforms. Okay, I forgot to write for bit 1, bit 0. Okay, let me write here S1 of t for bit 1, that is root 2 EB by TB cos omega 1t. I am writing omega 1. It is for bit 1. Another waveform S2 of t, that equal to root 2 EB by TB cos omega 2t. Omega 2t means 2 pi f2t. That is for bit 0. So we will distinguish the bits with the different frequencies of the waveforms, not with the phase, not with the amplitude. Okay. Right. And one more thing is, these two are orthogonal, perpendicular to each other. So that's why it is also called as orthogonal modulation. Okay. Now here m equal to 2, we know already. M means the number of waveforms that are transmitting. But what about n? N means the number of basis functions that are required. How to calculate the number of basis functions? It depends upon the number of linear independent energy signals. Now in case of BPSK, S1 of t is negative of S2 of t. So they are dependent of each other. One is dependent, one is independent. But in this case, since they differ only in frequency, both are independent of each other. They are linearly independent. Both are linearly independent because they differ only in frequency, not in phase, not in amplitude. That's why, since these two are independent, n also equal to 2. Here m equal to n. Okay. So what are those orthonormal basis functions? I told you. To find out them, we go with the procedure, Gram-Schmidt procedure. What is that? You divide S1 of t with its energy, root of its energy. Here also with root of its energy. Okay. Now, what do you get now? What are the basis functions? EB will cancel out because EB is same as E1 is same as E2. All are same energies. Is it okay? I have written EB here, but it is E1. E1 is nothing but EB. All are same. What do you get? The two basis functions are phi1 of t equal to root 2 by TB cos 2 pi f1 t, and phi 2 of t is also equal to root 2 by TB cos 2 pi f2 t. These are the two basis functions we can get for the BFSK. Remember, so they are defined from 0 to TB. They are time limited. Everything is time limited. Yeah. Okay. So here one more thing is, I told you these are orthonormal, but so for that we need a condition. So the frequency difference f2 minus f1 equal to 1 by 2 TB. Minimum difference should be this much. Okay. Why it is so? You just go like this. So you take integration 0 to TB. So S1 of t into S2 of t equal to 0. This is nothing but orthogonality. This is inner product. When it is possible, S1 of t is what? Now let me take 0 to tb. I am taking a square cos 2 pi f1 t cos 2 pi f2 t. It should be equal to 0. A square nothing but amplitude, no? I am writing this. I am talking about the inner product of these two waveforms. This into this, integration over 0 to tb. So this is 0. This is 0 if I don't leave the frequency difference. f2 minus f1 is 1 by 2 tb. So these two are orthogonal whenever the frequency separation is 1 by 2 tb. Now there is one more thing that is called RB. It is called bit rate. So it is nothing but RB equal to 1 by tb. RB equal to 1 by tb. Now the minimum separation or spacing between two frequencies should be 1 by 2 tb, that is RB by 2. It is for orthogonality. Here obviously these basis functions are orthogonal. They should be orthogonal, not orthonormal also. Okay, not only basis functions, please remember here, if they are orthogonal, they are also orthogonal, because what a difference, just a root eb, a constant root eb is multiplied. Compare phi1 phi2 with s1 s2 t. They are exactly same. The only thing is root eb is not there. So if they are orthonormal, they are also orthonormal. Sorry, if they are orthogonal, these are also orthogonal. Okay, that's why it's called orthogonal modulation. BPSK is not orthogonal modulation. Okay. Now this is S1 of t, S2 of t. The different frequency. This is having less frequency, it is having more frequency. They have same amplitude, same phase. Yeah, you can verify. This is a waveform of BFSK. Okay. Now, so the change in the bit, or we can distinguish ones and zeros with the different frequencies of the waveform. Okay, you can see here. Suppose here let us take this is bit 0. We have some one waveform. Here bit 1. Everything is 1 here, right? Here also 1. Here it is 0, bit 0. Now, so whenever bit is 0, this is the waveform. Whenever bit is 1, we have waveform with different frequency. Okay. Here we have more frequency. Here we have less frequency. Here again less frequency. We have two different frequencies. Whenever there is a change in the bit, there will be a change in the frequency of the waveform. Okay. You can clearly see here. Here the frequency is less. Here frequency is more. Okay. Now this is the modulated signal. BFSK modulated signal. Correct? So now they have same amplitude. Okay, they have same phase. They only different frequency. We have two different frequencies. Okay. Right. So let us get into the mathematics of the BPSK. Now, as I told you, here m equal to 2, n also equal to 2. If you remember, Si of t, that is summation j equal to 1 to n Sij phi j of t. Now I varies from 1 to m. Here m and n both are 2, which means if expanded properly, what is S1 of t? J also 1 to 2. It is also 1 to 2. Tell me, what is S1 of t? S11 phi 1 of t plus S12 phi 2 of t. This is the first waveform. What is S2 of t? S21 phi 1 of t plus S22 phi 2 of t. But what is S1 of t? Yeah, S1 of t is what is S1 of t? Root 2 EB by TB cos omega 1 t. But what is 2 by TB cos omega 1 t? Phi 1 of t. Now, yeah, if we can write like that, what I can write here it is. Now in our case, what is S1 of t? S1 of t equal to root EB phi 1 of t. What is S2 of t? Root EB phi 2 of t. You go and check. These are the S1 of t, S2 of t. These are phi 1 of t, phi 2 of t. So what is S1 of t? Root EB phi 1 of t. What is S2 of t? Root EB phi 2 of t. That's it. This is omega 1, omega 2, right? This is omega 1. This is omega 2. Now what we can do here? You compare these 4 equations and find out S11, S12, S21, S22. Now tell me. Compare them and tell me all the coefficients of expansion. What is S11? Is root EB. S12 is 0. Am I right? Compare this. S11 is root EB. What is S12? It is nothing is there, 0. Okay. What is S21? Is 0. S22 again root EB. Isn't it? What is S21? Here phi 1 coefficient is not there. That's why it is 0. What is S22? Root EB. Now, you know already a signal vector S1. A signal vector S1. It contains n elements. Here 2 elements. S11, S12. Signal vector S2. It contains 2 elements. S21, S22. What are the signal vectors S1, S2? They will be equal to S1 equal to S11 root EB, S12 0, root EB 0. What is S2? Signal vector S2? 0 root EB. Okay. Yeah, so you can also write as a coordinates root EB comma 0, 0 comma root EB. Okay. Now, so after getting these vectors, we can draw the constellation. Now here the constellation is of 2-dimensional. Why? Why? Because we got 2 basis functions. In BPSK it was only 1-dimensional because there was only 1 basis function. Now since it is a 2-dimensional, x-axis, y-axis. So the axes are, what are the axes? Phi 1, phi 2. It is 2-dimensional signal space or 2-dimensional constellation. Now you denote the points. What is the first message point? It is something like root EB comma 0. Where it is? Somewhere here. Root EB comma 0. What is second point? S2. 0 comma root EB. Zero comma root EB. This is the BFSK constellation. Is a 2-dimensional because 2 basis functions. Now, what is the distance between them? D12. How much the distance? Can you tell me? Root of 2EB. the distance between the two message points is root of 2EB. In case of BPSK, what was that? If you remember, in BPSK, how was the constellation? On axis, there are 2 points, root EB minus root EB. So the distance was 2 times root EB. Now here the distance is not 2 times root EB. You know, this right angle triangle, but this is the hypotenuse. This is 2 into root of 2 EB. It has come down. So the distance between message points has come down. For same EB, if it is EB same, this is having very less distance compared to BPSK. Remember this is a two-dimensional 2D constellation of the BFSK. This is a constellation actually. I briefly start with the transmitter of the BFSK. Before that, I must write what are S1 of t, S2 of t's. Root EB phi 1 of t. Okay. It is for bit 1, right? So let me go back. I have written for bit 1 or 0. Yeah, bit 1. It is for bit 1. What is S2 of t? Root EB phi 2 of t. It is for bit 0. Now here, how to generate these waveforms S1 of t, S2 of t. Here we use on-off line code. On-off means 1 means 1, 0 means 0. Okay. Now this is the on-off, this is data. Binary data, this is on-off signaling. In BFSK, we have taken polar. Why polar? Because there S1 of t was root EB phi 1 of t, S2 of t was minus root EB phi 1 of t. We got negativity there. That's why we taken polar code. Here we don't get negatives, we only have positives. That's why we take on off. 1 means root EB, 0 means 0. Okay. Now look at this transmitter. Suppose 1 is there. Suppose the transmitter bit is 1. This is M of t actually. This is M of t. Okay. So if the bit is 1, M of t is 1. Okay. M of t 1 means what a corresponding amplitude? Root EB. 1 means root EB. 1 implies root EB. Here we have inverter. So 1 also goes here. The bit 1 goes this way, upper portion as well as lower portion. But 1 is inverted. Okay. Empty prime. Empty complement. So what is the complement of 1? 0. Inverse. So when it is 0, what is the amplitude of 0? 0. Now what happens here? So root EB, we have multipliers. Root EB into phi 1 of t. From upper portion we get root EB into phi 1 of t. From lower portion it is 0. 0 into phi 2 of t is 0. Finally, what is the waveform you get? Root EB into phi 1 of t. It is for bit 1. Okay. Suppose if the bit is 0. What will happen if the bit is 0? What will happen? You think about this. Okay, if the bit is 0, what will happen? Okay. So if the bit is 0, here the bit is 0. 0 goes here. 0 means 0. 0 into phi 1 of t is 0. But 0 here, after inversion, it becomes 1. 1 means what is amplitude? Root EB. So what do you get here? In the lower portion, what do you get? Root EB into, what is this? Phi 2 of t. So from the upper portion 0, lower portion root EB into phi 2 of t. Total root EB into phi 2 of t. It is for bit 0. Now this is the transmitter of the BFSK. Here we used to, here also we are multiplying the message with carrier. You just look at that. But we have two carriers. This is one carrier, it is another carrier. We are multiplying m of t with carrier. Okay, and we are adding. More or less, we are multiplying message with carrier. But here the line code we use is on off. On off NRZ, non return to 0. So this is about the transmission part of the BFSK. Okay. So next class we discuss about the receiver. Thank you.